Hey friend, welcome to Lupus Speaks Chronically Planned, where faith meets strategy and planning isn't just about getting things done, it's about being intentional, making life work for you, and walking in alignment with the purpose God has for you. I'm Shadrika Holmes, and lately I've been shifting, learning how to build a life and a business and a routine that actually fits where I am right now. And before we push forward, we need to make sure we are not just busy, but actually moving in the right direction. And so that's why I created Chronically Planned, because managing life with chronic illness shouldn't mean giving up on your goals. You just need to do it in a different way. So if you've been feeling stuck, exhausted, or like you don't even know what the next step should be, stick with me. Let's talk about faith, planning, and actually making moves that feel good and make sense. You ready? So let's get into it. So last time we talked about letting go of hustle culture, shifting into alignment, and how clarity is the foundation of sustainable success. And after sitting with that, I realized something. Sometimes we don't know what we're aiming for, but we lack motivation because we're seeking validation from the wrong people instead from God. Just let that sit for a second. How many times have you known exactly what God placed on your heart, but you hesitated because you wanted someone else to confirm it? You wanted them to see the vision, to validate it, to say, yes, that's a great idea. You should do that. And when they didn't, you started to doubt yourself. But here's the thing. God didn't give the vision to them. He gave it to you. Jeremiah 33 says, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. That means when you're unsure, you don't have to run to other people. You don't have to keep asking for permission. You don't have to wait for someone to validate what God has already confirmed in your spirit. I'm going to tell you something. I be doing this all the time. I don't need it. Clarity doesn't come from people. It comes from the conversation with God. So today, we're going to talk about how to stop waiting for validation and step into clarity. How using a vision board as a faith-based tool for direction. And how this all connects faith, planning, and execution. So let's do it. One of the biggest reasons why we feel stuck isn't because we don't have a vision. It's because we don't have the right source of clarity and motivation. I used to think that if I just work harder, if I keep pushing, things will eventually fall into place. But the truth is, effort without direction is just a waste of energy. It hit me deep because I realized that I'm moving without intention. I do actually have an intent, but it's of my own. Sometimes the reasons we lack motivation is because we don't want the thing. It's because we haven't made the vision clear enough for ourselves. And other times we know what we need to do, but we're waiting for approval from other people who were never meant to co-sign our vision. That's why the Bible said, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it may run with it. But let me tell you something. That scripture doesn't say write the vision and wait for other people to understand it before you take action. And I understand clarity calls or bouncing ideas off of another person, but I don't want you to sit and wait on the clarity from other people before you decide to take action. If you're feeling stuck, I want to challenge you. Are you really confused? Or are you waiting for validation from other people who were never meant to confirm your calling? Because once I let go of the outside approval and I finally gained clarity for myself, that's when I started using a vision board and faith-based planning processes to keep me focused. And like I said before, I love planning. I freaking enjoy it. And if you really are close to me and you know me, I'm obsessed. I got so many planning resources and tools. It's ridiculous. I started reading books talking about vision and listening to Dr. Miles Monroe about the combination of the vision and the plan. And that's when I really dove heavy into vision boards. So I want to talk about that. And let's be clear, this is not about manifesting random things. This is about getting clear on the direction God is calling you on. When you know where you're going, you start making better decisions. You stop wasting time and doing things that do not align. And you see so many people in this culture right now doing just that, setting boundaries, cutting people off, not wasting energy. And that makes so much sense to me. So when I create my vision board, I break it down into 5 key areas that I intentionally pray over and seek clarity on. And obviously, number 1 is going to be my faith and my spiritual growth. What does my relationship with God need to look like in this season? I'm going to be honest. I've been thinking about it. Like, is my heart's posture in the right place? Because when I am doing my prayer journal and I'm sitting down with God, it's literally just to have a conversation with Him, to thank Him, yes, for gratitude, but also to be like, I need this from you. I want this from you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I just feel like you definitely need to dive deeper into the relationship and the connection with God. And that's actually reading the word. That is actually living out the word. Okay. Reading it, knowing it, and memorizing scripture doesn't mean squat diggly squat if you aren't actively acting on what his teachings are. And this is hard, y'all. This ain't no easy walk. Look, I battle it myself every single day. However, the intention is there. The pull on me, just even me just telling you about this now and where I'm at in this season of checking myself and seeing, am I doing the right things? I feel like this is a repetitive thing because we get so busy with just everything that we have to do, and we make God like part of our life, a part of something that we have to do every day. But it's not the leading factor. It's not the force. It's not the driving reason why I'm going to get up every day and I consult with the Lord on what I need to do next. Yeah, okay. So then we have health and well-being. Again, this question is going to be, how do I take care of myself mentally, physically, and emotionally? Is that even aligned with God? God gives us things. The food that we eat, the nutrition is there. Do we choose to use those fruits and vegetables and the things that we're not supposed to pour into our temple and take care of ourselves? Like, that's a harder question. You know what I'm saying? Because we be knowing what we not supposed to do, what we not supposed to eat, what we not supposed to drink, who we not supposed to have in our life, baby. That's a part of your well-being. And if you're not listening to the Lord when He tell you to do certain things and how to move, then you're going to be struggling. Now, family and relationships. That's a good question. How do I want to show up for my loved ones? Do I want to tell that person that you're just not a good fit? Like, I love you, but you hurts me and you do it all the time. And that's not good for me. I forgive you. Oh, baby, that's another podcast episode, because forgiving someone and not forgetting something that they have done for you, that's a whole nother level. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that though. We're gonna talk about that. All right. So then you have your business and your purpose. What kind of impact do I want to make? Because for me, my impact is I'm just myself. Like, people ask me all the time, oh, what do you want to be? Stop asking people what they want to be when they grow up. Okay? It doesn't make no sense to me. I just want to be me. I don't want to be nothing else. That don't, I'm too grown to be saying, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a doctor. No, I just want to be me. And whatever that is, I just gonna be that. If it is a doctor, then that's what it is. I don't know. That's not my journey. The medical field just not it. That's not me. But I'm just saying as an example, my impact is just being me, being myself authentically, showing up like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you right now, this journey, it's not easy. What I'm trying to do is not easy. What I am asking God for is not even easy to obtain. Okay. It takes a lot, especially when it's like areas where you still need to grow. Like, being honest that I need to grow in this area and being authentic about it instead of showing up as this person that don't really align with the truth. And I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I be like, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. But then I be having to be like, do you be doing this? As I do. But sometimes it ain't about me. It's about y'all. Sometimes it just be about the message. But I'm not I'm not showing up on camera in a certain way that isn't me. Like, I'm myself. On this podcast, I'm myself. I'm I'm honest. Okay, so then we got to work on the praying over our finances and stability. How do I become a better steward of my resources? How can I do better about what God has already given me? Before I put anything on my board, I ask God first. I journal, I reflect, I pray over these areas because I don't just want goals. I want goals that align with the Lord. So if you're thinking about making a vision board, start with prayer, start with God, start by asking Him what He's calling you to focus on in this season. And if you want to see how I do this in real life, I'm going to share some clips on my Instagram stories this week. So make sure you follow along. Now let this framework work for you. I'm going to tie it all together because we have faith, planning, execution, right? Faith, before anything else, you have to trust what God has for you. It's already done. Okay. Now unto Him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we ask or think. It's already yours, baby. But the faith and the believing that is real heavy. Okay. Planning. Once you have the clarity, planning becomes powerful. You're not just setting random goals. You're partnering with God's vision and creating structure to bring it to life. I love vision boards. I do remember in the beginning when I started, I wasn't tied into the spiritual aspect of planning. I just was planning and creating vision boards, and I used to just post, just random stuff, Kate Spade bags and cars, but I ain't gonna lie, everything on that vision board I got it. The color of the car I wanted, the kind of car I wanted, the kind of bags that I wanted. I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to look up what that first vision board is. And literally, it wasn't even on a board. It was inside one of those folders, like manila folders that you open up. And I had printed out some pictures on some sticker paper, cut it out, and I put it on that manila folder and I closed it. That was my very, very first vision board of my entire life. I think I'm gonna post like different vision boards that I've had over the course of years, just so y'all can see that some of that, like a lot of that stuff, matter of fact, I need to do that for myself, that a lot of the stuff has actually came true. But anyway, so once your vision board is done and you bringing it to life, this is where the execution comes in at, when we get stuck, we don't want to feel like we're just moving and hustling and we're just wasting and burning our energy, that we're actually in alignment with the goals. And I'm telling you, having the vision board and looking at it is such a great motivation to just remember, like when times get hard and it's like you don't really feel like doing it, you can look at that vision and be like, okay, this is why this is why I'm pushing harder. This is why I'm motivated. We can't look for outside sources to motivate us. Sometimes we can't even motivate our own selves. And that's why you seek the Lord for that vision, for that extra motivation. Because I know for me, sometimes coming up on this podcast and I be tired, y'all. I don't be wanting to get up. But sometimes I have to get up at 3 a.m. on the day before. Now this is I don't recommend this, but I'm just saying. But I'm going to keep going. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep going with this vision that eventually I won't have to do this. It's going to work out. But anyways, that's about me. I really want to dive deeper into the chronically planned concept because so many of us are trying to execute without clarity. And that's where we feel so stuck. And chronically planned, I'm excited for it. Okay. I just really want Lupus Speaks to evolve into something that's more intentional. Okay, so I'm introducing Lupus Speaks and Chronically Planned. It will continue to be a space for chronic illness warriors, but I'm going to integrate more faith, planning, and execution to help you align your life with your purpose. So I want you to expect powerful conversations, actionable planning strategies, and inspiration to move forward even on your hardest days. It's not easy to walk this walk. And I just think that we need to be able to move beyond the survival mode, the functional depression, the lack of clarity and alignment. We need to create the lives that work for us in our unique challenge in this season of our life. Understanding that the busyness of everything, it's not for us. And it's really not for anyone, to be honest. So whoever is out here hustling and burning yourself out to chase a reality that may not even be yours. Because I just feel like it's supposed to be easy. And I'm not saying like you're not going to have challenges. What I'm saying is if you got to rush through it, if you got to hustle through it, maybe it's not for you. Or maybe it's not for you right now. Because the thing about the word is it speaks so much about patience and timing and being in the right timing. So if you gotta rush through it, then why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Like, why you just can't take your time? Like, your journey is your journey. If it's yours, it's yours. Like, can't nobody take that. So however long it take you to get there, you're still gonna get there. God's still gonna provide it for you. He gave you the vision. It's yours. Like, why you rushing? I feel that for somebody. I really do. Why you rushing? God not rushing you. You know, he laying out everything and the opportunities to come as he see fit, as you are ready for them. He not rushing them. You are. That's a reminder to me too. Okay, friends. So that's it. This is going to be the continued version of Lupus Speaks and Chronically Planned. And until next time, keep the faith, keep planning, and keep moving forward in alignment. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode of the Lupus Speaks podcast. I hope you found some inspiration, encouragement, and a few loopy gems to carry with you on your journey. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other lupus warriors who might need to hear this. And remember, you don't have to walk this path alone. We're building an incredible community here, so follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lupus Speaks, or check out lupusspeaks.org for more ways to connect and get involved. And until next time, peace and be intentional.